Hi, my name is Francis, and I'm very excited to bring this info to you. What info am I talking about? Well, my whole life I've studied a lot of different subjects, I've studied a lot of different things, and I've just kind of been sitting on all this information. And what's really sad in my eyes is that a lot of it is becoming mainstream. Now, there's nothing wrong with the mainstream, but I do believe that mainstream thinking tends to be garbage. Why? Because inertia is working against it. It takes a lot to get over this idea, to get over to somewhere new, to be open to new ideas, right? So what I have done is I would study all this stuff and I'd get these like insights. I'd see this research, I'd see these new implications, and I would just kind of hold on to it. I wouldn't present it because didn't feel like people would agree with it or they would combat me and this and that. And me, I'm not an expert, right? I'm not like a researcher in this and that. I'm just looking at the research. I'm looking at the findings. I'm seeing where they're going, where they're coming from, right? So, I'm sitting here and people are like, well, you're no expert, this and that. And they're going to come up with all these excuses, and that's fine and great. But what I've noticed is a lot of this is beginning to be more and more mainstream. So this brings me to my next point. There's kind of this balance, this delicate balance between bringing info out to presenting info. If I present info that's too new or too extreme, a lot of people are going to have issues with it. They're not going to get on board. They're not going to agree with it, especially if I'm not some decorated scientist or some prestigious person, right? I'm just Francis. I'm just a guy. But if I wait till it becomes mainstream, well, then people are like, why the hell are you even telling me this? I know this. This is common sense. Oh, I've seen it here. I've seen it there. You're just copying this guy, right? So this is what kind of tends to happen. So there's this delicate balance between the two. And I feel like this channel and this year, this era, this is the perfect time to bring you this information. So when I say that mainstream thinking is garbage, what do I mean? Well, I mean, by and large, mainstream opinion tends to be 20 years behind. In fact, I've seen that years ago, probably over 20 years ago. The idea is this: if you have money and you're wealthy and you have connections, you know things that other people don't. If you have money and you have connections and your kids go to a very prestigious school, I don't know about nowadays, but they used to be taught cutting edge science. They used to be taught cutting edge theories, the most revolutionary insight and wisdom. Now, over here, you have traditional curriculum. You have like public schools and you have that kind of stuff. So by and large, the public opinion would be 20 years behind just because of that class gap, right? Nowadays, with the internet, it's way different. Like, we have access to so much information, but now, if you notice, there's a lot of suppression and there's a lot of there's a lot of garbage just being put out there, memes. If you look, just a couple years ago, my feed used to be all research, cutting edge stuff, all this kind of stuff, and this was where I learned a lot of things. Nowadays, it's hidden. You have to really look for it, and the mainstream, basically, the powers that be want their money and they want to censor and block people, right? That's another reason I'm excited to bring you this channel. Now, I'm not going to get into politics. It's very easy nowadays to just be divisive and to pick a side and to get popular, especially if you can really just, I don't know, if you can make fun of things like I can make fun of things. I think it would be really easy. Just because and this is why this channel is going to be so good. How I've gotten to this info, how I've gotten to these solutions, is basically by asking, well, as a contrarian, like, when is this not always the case? Some people deal in absolutes. And that's the thing about politics, is they tend to deal in absolutes. Like, they have to stick to their stances 100%, otherwise they come across as hypocritical. Now, the interesting thing is they're already hypocritical. Why? I mean, if you look to either side, more interestingly than... Okay, so what's really interesting is the left, right? Why? Because they tend to be very moral. They really tend to stand on a moral high ground and kind of prop themselves up in what South Park would say is very smug, right? They think they're better than everyone else because they do X, Y, and Z. They support nature. They support all this stuff, right? And the interesting thing is, they claim to be so enlightened, yet they do exactly what they criticize about the right. Oh, the right is so full of hate and they're so divisive and bigoted and this and that, but yet they do the same exact thing. So it's very hypocritical because everyone's a hypocrite when you stick to absolutes. This channel is about nuances, okay? And secondly, this channel is not about politics. It is all about how you can empower yourself, how you can be the best version of yourself, how you can use neuroscience, how you can understand how your body works, how your mind works, how to get past barriers and create the life that you want. So that's what this channel is all about. I hope that you enjoy the content. I want to say, this is just a caveat. I encourage you to hit subscribe. I'm very bad at this. Hit subscribe and ring the bell on channels that you like, that you get quality information and that you resonate with. Now, the reason I bring this up is it's just something that I just recently noticed. I'm subscribed to a lot of channels with a lot of content that I enjoy. Over the past year and really the past 3 months, my suggestions and what I see on YouTube is just crap. I don't even know that these sources are making videos because I didn't hit the bell. And I didn't understand the importance of it, so I don't know. I just want to share this because it's something new for me. Basically, subscribe and hit the bell for channels that you like, because otherwise you're going to get garbage. You're going to just get like Jimmy Fallon and stuff that you don't care about. It's just the most random stuff. I'm sure you've seen this comment. It's like, why is, everyone says this. Why is this in my suggested? I'm not a chess player. Why is this in my suggested? I'm not into makeup tutorials. Why is this in my suggested? So it's very interesting what they're doing and how it even works. So if you really want to get content you like, you really do have to subscribe and hit the bell nowadays. Secondly, I'd like you to use the comments section to comment what you like about a video, what you'd like to clarify in a video, and if you have ideas for other videos I can create. So that being said, I'm going to end basically every video this way, and I look forward to hearing from you and bringing more content to you.